in with LovetheLandHomestead.
Hey y'all, it's Cayce over at Mrs.GilliamFarms.
And this is Sandi from Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona.
And I'm Monica from Bland's Promised Land Ranch. Okay, today we are joining in a really wonderful collaboration with Mountain Grandma and the Budget Preppers. It's called My Home Apothecary. And we're really excited to do this kind of as a group, so that way we can hit you up and explain all the things that we're doing in our home apothecary.
Now, we do have a medical disclaimer. We are not doctors, and this information is not intended or implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. All content contained is for general information purposes only. This channel makes no representation and assumes no responsibility for the accuracy of information referred to in this video. You are encouraged to confirm any information and review all information regarding your medical condition and treatment with your doctor.
What a great disclaimer. Now, I'm also going to be the one to say some really fun, exciting giveaway news, because both Mountain Grandma and the Budget Prepper are doing a giveaway at the end of this collaboration. So there will be a giveaway on September 8th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're hoping that some of the folks that's joining in on this collaboration will consider giving some stuff, and there'll probably be a full list closer to the end of the collaboration that we'll leave down in our show notes. But they're all giving away an herbal book, some salve, bug bite salve, pain oil, seeds, and gift cards. So you won't want to miss the giveaway that's happening September 8th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, that's going to be so fun. And we love Mountain Grandma and Budget Preppers. And thank you so much for including us in your collaboration. Right now, y'all, we get a treat. We get to see inside of Sandi from Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona's apothecary.
So here's one part of my apothecary. 2 cabinets. I have most everything in this one in jars. And if it gave me information when I got it, if I hadn't grown it, I taped that on there. I have my scale handy. And actually right in here, where these papers are, I have a list of everything that's on every shelf. I have a chalkboard for when I need to do some stuff. I have recipes.
Ooh.
So let's go over here. Now here's another cabinet of my apothecary. And everything's labeled, or it's still in the original packet. Some things are vacuum sealed, so I don't want to open them until I use them. Then, my very last one in my kitchen. These are my tinctures.
Oh, man.
A few that are essential oils that are bought, but most things I made. There's a couple. There's a Star Bethlehem and some echinacea that I didn't make. Beeswax back there. Salves up there. I'm real happy with my apothecary so far.
That's amazing, Sandi. Oh, my
I'm telling you, it is. We were all, when we first saw this video, we were like in awe. I was like, I'm so behind. I need to copy with Sandi and get it done.
Just be prepared for all of us to hop in the car if something happens. We're coming to your house. Monica and all her children, too.
Are you kidding me? I thought it was awesome because she actually has, and I just caught it this time. First of all, the chalkboard thing is genius, but she wrote down the benefits. Like, you wrote down the benefits on some of the actual herbs you had. I saw you had
yes,
potassium, vitamin B, whatever it was. And see, that's where I'm always lacking. That's where I find myself looking at the container and going, okay, what am I going to use this for?
Right.
So we're doing calendula, right? So I bought like 3 years ago, I bought this big bag of calendula. I put it in the jar and then I didn't know what to do with it. So when you chose this, I was like, oh, good. So now I'm actually going to write on my jar too.
That's a good idea.
I'm going to write on there all the things I can use it for, because otherwise I'm going to forget. I'm going to see this big jar and I'm not going to remember. So it's awesome.
Sandi had talked us all into getting the herbal book too. That I have is actually right beside me.
There we go.
You're able to pull out and look it up to see, and it has all of the different stuff of what it's good for, how to use it, what part of the plant. That's be another good thing to have by your apothecary, Monica, is a good little book.
Excellent idea. Okay, so I think we should probably, I think I just messed up here, but we should talk to Sandi and say, okay, what did we choose and why?
Okay, well, since we're doing it together, I looked at a lot of different herbs that we could do. And I thought, why not calendula? It's an easy herb. It's easy to grow at your house. It brings in pollinators. And a lot of times we just need something that can fix a cut or a bruise, a sprain, something that we can have in the beginnings of an apothecary that is easy to make. So we each are doing different things with calendula. And do you want me to? Okay, so this is Cayce's. He has ordered that.
And it's on the way from Amazon. We'll joke and say, living in a small town, if somebody farts the wrong way, we get sick days and we don't get our mail delivered. So mine is on the way. So I am behind. Me and Ann are twinsies and got the same product. And Ann is actually the step up from me on what she's done.
Yes, it was so fun and easy. You guys, this was easy to make calendula oil. And I ultimately put them in these little amber bottles with an eyedropper so that I can use it as well. You don't have to do anything else with it if you don't want to, but it is a wonderful carrier oil. And the process for this was to just fill some jars. I used canning jars and fill them about halfway up of the calendula flowers. And this is what they look like when they come online, if I can get my hands to work. They look like this, as far as it's just the petals. And then, I have
now. Sandi, are those freeze dried? Or are they just dehydrated? When a company sends them, do you think they're freeze dried or are they just dehydrated?
No, I would guess they're dehydrated.
Okay.
That's usually how they come. And as long as you have them sealed up, they will last you a very long time, years of lasting. Now, on a calendula, it is only the petals that you're using. We don't use the stem, the leaves, the roots. It's only the petals. But it is very healing herb. And that's one of the things I like about it.
That's right. That's right. And so once you get the jars about halfway or maybe 3/4 of the way full of the flowers, I used avocado oil because in our little town, we couldn't find any grapeseed oil. And we have one grocery store. And so you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. But we had avocado oil. And that was a perfectly good thing. You can use a variety of oils from what I understand. Olive oil, you can use grapeseed oil, you can use castor oil, which I'm probably going to make a batch with castor oil. Put it in the jars, cover the jars, put them in a crock pot with a towel on the bottom, put water in the crock pot about halfway up the jars and set the crock pot on warm. And then let it warm for 3 days. And after that, you just pull it out and strain it. I did strain ours twice because it looked like there was a lot of oil still left on those flowers. So I let it sit and strained it twice. And then you have yourself some bottled up, like kind of sort of Neosporin oil, which is fun. But don't eat it or ingest it or put it in your eyes or your mouth or anything, right? It's not good to ingest.
It's only topical.
Only topical. And Monica, what did you do with yours?
So I did basically the same thing you did, except I did a little bit of a quick method. I found another method where I think you added a little bit of alcohol to yours first. You did some vodka. You let it soak in vodka first.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that part.
And that kind of, and Sandi can explain exactly what that does too. But I did a little bit of vodka in my petals and I let it sit, just dampen, and I let that sit for a little bit. And then I came back and I did more of a quick method. So I didn't let mine sit for 3 days, but I heated mine and I did it in the crock pot as well. And then I strained it. I have it in my jar and I didn't double strain it. So you can see a little bit of that extra down there. I just single strained it and I've got this left over, but I used this as a carrier oil when I made some body butter. And so I made it into a lotion along with some other butters, some shea and some other butters. And so I just combined it. I had stuff to make lotion. We also made a lip balm, but I didn't bring it in here. But I have the body butter. You can just rub it anywhere on your body that you just need some moisture. My daughter had eczema when she was really little. And one of the things that I saw the need for in our family was to make some body butter, make our own body lotion. And the reason why is because a lot of the lotions out there burn her skin, and it used to burn her skin because it has alcohol in it. And
Yeah.
even though I used alcohol for the beginning part and the flower part, that's neither here nor there. That doesn't have anything to do with the rest of it. There's no alcohol in this part of it. And because of that, it doesn't burn your skin. It rubs in very smoothly. And I use a bunch of different butters. Shea butter. Yeah. I use shea butter. I use mango butter. You can use cocoa butter, and you basically kind of melt them all down. And I use that along with the some beeswax pellets to make some lip balm. So you can do that. Now you have to be careful, I think, when you put it in a lip balm tube. You don't want to really get it in your mouth, but I use a very small amount of calendula oil in that lip balm compared to the rest of it. It wasn't a large amount, but I wanted to have it on there so that if we had cracked skin above our lips or anywhere right here on here, I wanted to be able to use that because my kids get some really cracked lips in the winter. But with the need for my children, and we have some family members that are dealing with some medical issues, chemotherapy patients, having that healing balms, it's really helpful. So yeah, I made some lotion, and I'm pretty excited about using it and trying to make some variations of it. But the calendula has been super for our family in the past anyway. So Sandi, with the leaves and all that, explain why you would maybe do the vodka first.
Right. I have that.
When you use vodka, it always needs to be at least 80 proof or higher. And what it does is it starts to pull the essence out of the plant material or the petals or the flowers, the roots. And so that's why a lot of people soak their herb first in the alcohol, and then it just continues when it's in the oil, pulling that out, that essence out. And so that's always an important thing. Like I made a calendula tincture, and see how I write all of the things that calendula is good for. And like Monica talked about that, it makes it so that when I have an issue, I can go right to it, and I don't have to look in my book. It has it there. Now, this is good for certain things, but it does have alcohol in it. So I couldn't put it in on an open cut like the oil or the salve could go on, or a lotion could go on. But this is really good if you have an earache, and you just put a couple drops in there. I usually would put like a cotton ball and then a Band-Aid just so it stays in there for a little while, lay on the opposite side. But on here, I wrote only on skin.
Okay.
Only if you go to an herbalist specialist, a certified herbalist. Rarely, but sometimes they will have it so that you put it inside, ingest it. But that is very rare.
Now, Sandi, what the reason that we chose calendula is because it's good for what? Will you explain to everybody that's watching what calendula is good for, like what to use these products for?
Well, it's very healing. So it will heal, like if you had burns, the oil or the lotion would be a great thing. Bruises, cuts, minor infections, like you have a minor skin infection, it can really help with that. Inflammation, earaches. I think that, and Monica will probably agree with this, that you could put it, if you had arthritis, rub that oil and that salve on your hands.
Yeah.
It's one of those herbs that will really absorb through your skin easily. That, your skin has a barrier. And so certain herbs will go through easier.
Oh, okay.
Now, I have psoriasis. I wonder if this would be good to be able to put on those plaques of psoriasis on my legs.
Well, what I always think that you should do is before you start rubbing it all over your whatever you have, you should do a test on your skin, because everybody's different and you may have some kind of reaction to it. So I always found if you put it in the part of your elbow, the inside, and just put a little bit on there, and just leave it for 10 minutes. If it, nothing, you don't have any irritation, no tingling, burning, I think your skin is fine for that.
That's awesome. Okay. Because that is a tender spot right in
Mhm.
there. That would be a more vulnerable. So if you're going to have a reaction, that probably would be a spot that would be telling, that would tell you a little faster.
When they
Potentially.
when they do allergy testing, that's where they allergy test right here in your arm. A lot of times, if they're not doing it on your back, they do it on the arms right here. My daughter and son had to go for allergy testing, and they do it all right here.
Yeah.
So it makes the most sense to kind of do it on that tender part.
Yeah.
Now, Monica, you have purchased calendula before, and I think you have it so you could show it to somebody.
I do. So if you can't, let's just say you're watching this and you're like, well, I can't go through all that. I don't have the means to go and buy all the flowers, and what do I do with it? And it just looks like too much and it's overwhelming. You got to start your apothecary somewhere. So you can buy, this is very well used. I don't have an updated one, but this is our calendula cream. It is from, what is it?
And it says natural.
Bioron. There's the thing down there. Right there.
Okay.
But it's calendula cream. It's homeopathic medicine. It's good for cuts, scrapes, chafing, minor burn, sunburn. I'm not supported by them. However, I should probably get a commission at this point. I've bought enough of this. But my kids, we don't have Neosporin in our house. And I'll say that as a brand because most people have, or you have a triple antibiotic ointment. So when you have a cut or a scrape and your kids are like, oh, I need a Band-Aid. And a lot of people, my mom, I'll call her out. My mom, we were at her house a few weeks ago and my kids had a problem. And my son's sunburn was really bad. And I didn't have my calendula, which I almost always take with me. And she's like, let's try some Neosporin. And so she rubbed Neosporin all over his shoulders, which were really bad and burned bad. Well, by the next morning, his sunburn looked 100 times better. And I was so mad at myself because I don't use that, because Neosporin is an antibiotic ointment. And I don't put that kind of stuff on my kids unless I absolutely have to.
Right.
So I chalked it up to, okay, this was a need. I should have just took my butt out and tried to find some of this or ordered some, but this is my go-to. This is our antibiotic ointment here around the house. And this does the same thing, in my opinion, in my experience. This is
Right.
with me. But if you want to start your apothecary somewhere, I say start here, because this is one of the most basic creams and you can get it. They also have it in ointment form. But this little bit, this 2.5 ounces it goes pretty far in our house, and we have a lot. People are always banging themselves up or whatever. But
I'm sure, Monica, you'll have some of that in your Amazon storefront. If people
I
are
will
like,
make sure
where do I find it?
I will add it to my Amazon storefront, because I really do. This product in particular, I absolutely love. It really does help. So if you can't start all this and you're looking at it, you're like, I really love it, save our video. That way you can come back to it and refer to it later. Share it with a friend. If you think a friend might be interested in doing this, maybe you can get together with somebody and do this with you, right? And in the meantime, go grab yourself some off Amazon or the local Walgreens or CVS.
And there's a QR code on the screen.
There you go. And start your apothecary that way, because you don't have to always make all the things. Sometimes you can buy it if that's what you need to do for yourself to get started, because you don't have to be able to know all the things right away. You learn the things as you go along.
That's right. And Sandi, just to make the rest of us feel a little better, you didn't get this apothecary overnight. This was over a period of time. Did it take you a long time?
Yeah, it did. It was years that, and at first I bought the herbs if I wasn't growing them. And then later on, I've grown more and more and more of those. That just depends on where you live. Some herbs I cannot grow because of where I live. Other things grow fabulous. So take advantage of, you can put all those herbs in your flower bed, in your gardens. You can just stuff them different places. And then you just need to know when to harvest, what to harvest, because certain things you do in the spring. Sometimes it's not till they are done flowering. You just need to know those things. And it's just a little matter of research, doing your homework. And I wanted us to have, in any case of emergency, I had a go-to. And it's been so much fun learning about all the different herbs. And that has been just I guess a challenge for me that, okay, what can I do? What kind of, and I've made mixtures with, and made teas and salves and ointments of using different herbs together. So it's
Right.
just been a great experience.
That's so awesome because it's only been a couple of years that I cracked the door of herbs and all the benefits of them. And there's a whole world of things that you can do and grow. And, I want to grow more. But if you cannot, or if you need something and you don't have it growing in your yard, or you don't know exactly when to pick it or what parts to use, you can order these supplies. And there's nothing wrong. We have a lot of homesteaders that actually sell their own homemade products as well. And most of us know that if we're in a community of gardeners or homesteaders or something, that we try very hard to use all natural products. And so, Monica, what's going on with you? Said you have a question. Your little face looks like you have a question.
I have a question. Okay. So Sandi said the tincture it has alcohol, right? So we know that if you're doing certain things, you don't want to use that on your skin if it's like, a cut or an abrasion or something. So what's the difference between what I've got here and what Anne has in her oil? So what's the difference between these two really? Is it just the consistency? Is it just because I added the shea and the cocoa butter or whatever, and that'll offer different things? Or really, can I just use the oil? Can we just keep it bare bones? What's the difference really?
Well, you could. Some people, it's really a matter of preference.
Mhm.
Some people like that soothing that the shea butter and the cocoa butter and jojoba butter all those different oils can add into.
Okay.
And it's soothing your skin and moisturizing at the same time.
Okay.
You could just do the oils
Mhm.
and rub it on there.
Okay.
I did my tincture because sometimes I'll add tinctures to lotions or salves too. So it's just a matter of preference on what you like to do.
Okay.
And it may have something to do, with the scent. Like this smells like an almond pit or almond nuts or walnuts, or it smells very nutty consistency. But if you add the shea butter or the coconut butter or something
Mhm.
like that, then the scent would probably be a little more pleasant, I would think.
Yeah, so I mixed ours it was shea and mango, which shea butter has a scent if it's unrefined, which it is. And so it has a little bit of a scent, but it smells just like the calendula flowers. Now, if I added cocoa butter to this, which I'm going to try the next time, it would definitely smell a little chocolatey.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping it will cancel out some of the stronger scent of the flowers, because I had my boys try it and they're like, smells like a flower. And I'm like, okay. Because, when it comes to this, there's no scent.
Well,
Right.
and can you
They're not
add extra oils to that kind of stuff? Will it mess up kind of the herbal tact to it?
You could add essential oils to
Yeah,
it.
because
Yeah.
I even thought about adding like frankincense and some other things to it while I was making it, but I don't want to overwhelm the scent
Mhm.
I don't want to overwhelm the person using it either, because my boys would probably lose their minds if
Right.
it smelled like frankincense or just the calendula, like right now. Because this smells really strong, like
Mhm.
calendula.
It does. And I'm very sensitive to
Mhm.
strong smells. And so I was concerned about that, but it did, after cooking it and warming it, it is certainly not I'm not having a reaction to the smell of that. But
Okay, yeah, see, I use grapeseed oil, so mine doesn't smell like anything but the calendula. Like, it just smells like the flowers.
okay.
I feel like grapeseed doesn't really have a smell. It doesn't smell like anything. So I feel like it ended up just smelling like, so if I take a whiff of this jar and then I grab the oil, it smells very similar.
Okay, okay. And I'm curious, as I did add a dropper full of castor oil in each jar.
Mhm.
So that's a nice carrier oil as well. You just have the choices are yours, really, of how your body has reacted to things. And this has been a very learning experience. Thank you, Sandi, for encouraging us to step out and do this, as well as Mountain Grandma and the Budget Preppers, my home apothecary, that they're encouraging everyone to do like we have done, to try to, and just in case, have things in their home. And honestly, I had started this at a time where the grocery store shelves were empty. Some of our medications were not able to be purchased and things. And I thought, I take a lot of medicine. And if we can't get it, I better be able to make it, to be able to survive, to have a good, decent life existence, to be able
Right.
to continue.
And I think a lot of people will, once they start, they'll find things that they really love, that really matches with them. Like Cayce has his oregano tincture, isn't that right?
Yes, I have my oregano tincture. Mhm.
And what
I,
do you do with that?
well, see, I just I use it for it's like an antibiotic, a natural antibiotic. So sinus infection, teeth infection, ear infection, which I'm prone to. I use it. I put a couple drops in a bottle of water and I chug on it for the day throughout the week. And again, not a doctor, but it truly has helped me. And the funny thing is, we talk about tinctures and salves and all that kind of stuff on the Around the Hay Bale podcast. We did a whole podcast on starting your home apothecary because hi, I'm Cayce. I'm super newbie. Like when I say super newbie, I mean like out of the womb newbie. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope you go and listen to the podcast, because it was another one that Sandi was just spewing a bunch of wonderful, wonderful knowledge and wisdom to help you get this started. But it's a good one to listen to. And again, we do thank Mountain Grandma and the Budget Preppers for putting this collaboration together and thinking about us, for reaching out and asking us to do a video. And again, y'all, make sure you are liking and subscribing to our channel. We're going to do a giveaway once we hit to 500, and come back September 6th or September 8th, the 8th for the giveaway. I know I'm going to be in there. I'm sure all of us will probably be in and out of the chat to try to win some of those fun gifts. But I think we should sign it out for this video, and we just appreciate everybody tuning in because it's a longer video. Monica, do you want to sign us out?
Sure. I think don't forget to refer back to all the other videos. They're going to be in this collaboration. So if you type in My Home Apothecary, I'm sure it's going to pull up a bunch of stuff. Mountain Grandma and the Budget Preppers will probably have a playlist somewhere, so you can check out all the other channels that are participating. And that's going to be one of the ways too, I think, to get into the giveaway, or just really participate, because it's going to be one of those things that you're going to want to learn. If you've learned a little bit from us, you're going to see there's a ton of information out there. And this is a month of just really getting it started. And with kids going back to school, y'all, this is the best month to start your apothecary. So, honestly, we really hope you enjoyed this. We are so excited to be a part of this. And we just ask that you would definitely go check it out and like and share and all the things. And until next time, we will see you guys somewhere around the hay bale.
Around the hay bale. Bye, y'all.
Bye.